Welcome to the MOTO Freak channel. Greetings to all viewers, subscribers, supporters. So to the point. The Ford 1.5 Ecoboost and 1.6 Ecoboost engines are both turbocharged 4-cylinder, or 3-cylinder for some 1.5-liter versions, see below, engines that were used in various Ford models, often as efficient yet capable power plants. The 1.5-liter Ecoboost largely succeeded and replaced the 1.6-liter Ecoboost in many applications, bringing some design changes. Here's a comparison. 1.5 Ecoboost engine. Configuration. This engine has two main variations, which can be confusing. Inline 4-cylinder. This version, in some Fusion and Mondeo, Escape and Kuga, Focus, is a direct successor and often a downsized version of the 1.6-liter. It often features an integrated exhaust manifold and a computer-controlled water pump clutch. Inline 3-cylinder, Dragon engine, a later development. In newer Escape and Kuga, Bronco Sport, some Fiesta ST, and Focus in Europe and Asia. This 3-cylinder variant is an expansion of the 1.0-liter Ecoboost architecture and features cylinder deactivation technology, as well as both port and direct fuel injection, PFDI, for reduced carbon buildup. Performance. 4-cylinder typically produces around 148 to 181 horsepower and 177 to 185 lb-ft of torque, depending on the application and tuning. 3-cylinder Dragon can produce around 180 horsepower and 177 lb-ft of torque, Bronco Sport, or even up to 197 horsepower and 214 lb-ft, Fiesta ST Europe. Generally provides a good balance of power for daily driving and decent acceleration. Fuel economy. Designed to be efficient, especially the 3-cylinder variant with cylinder deactivation. Real-world figures vary by vehicle, but it generally aims for good combined MPG. Applications. Ford Fusion and Mondeo, Ford Escape and Kuga, Ford Focus, Ford C-Max, Ford Bronco Sport. Reliability and common issues. Coolant leaks leading to overheating. This is a significant concern, particularly in the 4-cylinder 1.5-liter Ecoboost, especially in models manufactured between 2014 and 2019. Similar to the 1.6-liter and some 2.0L Ecoboost engines, it can suffer from coolant intrusion into the combustion chambers due to weak cylinder head designs or faulty head gaskets. This can lead to engine damage or failure. Ford has issued recalls and technical service bulletins, TSBs, for this issue. Oil dilution, more prevalent in 1.5-liter and 2.0L Ecoboost engines, especially in colder climates or with frequent short trips. Fuel can mix with engine oil, thinning it and reducing its lubricating properties. Frequent oil changes are recommended to mitigate this. Carbon buildup. As a direct injection engine for the 4-cylinder variant, it can be susceptible to carbon buildup on intake valves. The 3-cylinder Dragon engine with PFDI is less prone to this. 1.6 Ecoboost engine. Configuration. Inline 4-cylinder, turbocharged, direct injection petrol engine. This engine has largely been phased out and replaced by the 1.5-liter Ecoboost. Performance. Typically produces 150 to 182 horsepower, or 197 horsepower in the Fiesta ST, with torque around 240 Nm, 177 lb-ft. Offered strong performance for its displacement, especially in lighter vehicles like the Fiesta ST, where it was highly praised for its responsiveness and tuning potential. Fuel economy. Comparable to, or slightly less efficient than, the 1.5-liter, as it generally doesn't feature technologies like cylinder deactivation. Applications. Ford Focus, previous generation, including ST. Ford Fiesta ST, Ford Escape and Kuga, early models. Ford Fusion and Mondeo, Ford C-Max. Reliability and common issues. Coolant intrusion and overheating and fire risk. This is the most infamous issue with the 1.6-liter Ecoboost. A design flaw could lead to coolant leaks, primarily from the cylinder head, which could cause overheating, engine damage, and in severe cases, engine fires. Ford issued significant recalls worldwide for the Kuga and Escape fire risk. It's crucial to confirm that any applicable recall work has been performed if considering a vehicle with this engine. Turbocharger issues. Like other turbocharged engines, turbo longevity can be affected by maintenance, though it's not as widely reported as the coolant issues. Carbon buildup. As a direct injection engine, it's also prone to carbon buildup on intake valves. Timing belt. Uses a timing belt, not a wet belt, like the 1.0 liter. While generally reliable, it's an interference engine, so timing belt failure can lead to catastrophic damage. Replacement intervals are long, 10 years and 150,000 miles, but inspections are advised. Which one to choose? This is a tricky comparison due to the significant shared issues and the evolution of the 1.5 liter. Generally, if buying newer, you'll likely encounter the 1.5 Ecoboost, as it replaced the 1.6 liter. The three-cylinder 1.5 liter Dragon is generally seen as an improvement, especially with its PFDI system mitigating carbon buildup and cylinder deactivation for efficiency. If looking at older models, pre-2019, 1.5 Ecoboost, four-cylinder still carries the risk of coolant intrusion and overheating, similar to the 1.6 liter and also oil dilution. 1.6 Ecoboost has the most widely publicized issues with coolant intrusion and fire risk. If considering this engine, absolute verification of all recall work is non-negotiable. Performance versus efficiency. Both offer good performance for their size. The 1.6 liter in the Fiesta ST was a performance icon, but in standard applications, the power difference to the 1.5 liter is often not dramatic. The 1.5 liter, especially the three-cylinder, generally aims for better efficiency. Critical recommendation. For both engines, especially older versions, a thorough pre-purchase inspection by a trusted mechanic familiar with Ford EcoBoost issues is highly recommended. Check service history meticulously for evidence of proper maintenance, especially oil changes, and confirmation that all relevant recall work, particularly for coolant issues, has been completed. The wet belt issue is primarily associated with the 1.0 liter EcoBoost, not the 1.5 liter or 1.6 liter four-cylinder engines, which typically use a timing chain or conventional dry belt, 1.6 liter. However, regular, correct-spec oil changes are vital for all EcoBoost engines. Thank you for watching the video, and I invite you to subscribe to the MOTO Freak channel. Greetings to everyone, and see you in the next episode. See you soon.